Welcome to Creator Best Software Training Center. Let us understand runtime stack mechanism. Okay, let's get started. So to understand runtime stack mechanism, first point, for every thread, JVM will create a runtime stack. For every thread that runs in the system, JVM will create a runtime stack. Each and every method call performed by the thread will be stored in the corresponding stack. Each and every method call performed or executed by that particular thread will be stored in a corresponding. I'll clearly explain with an diagram in a couple of minutes. First, let us understand these points. Okay, each entry in the stack is called stack frame or activation record. After completing every method call, the corresponding entry from the stack will be removed. After completing the method call execution, or after completing or performing the entire method call, that particular corresponding entry from the stack will be removed. After completing all the method calls, the stack will become empty, and that empty stack will be destroyed by JVM just before terminating the thread. Let us understand this with an example. Public static void main string arrays. I've called do some method within the main method. Do some method in turn calls the do more sum method. In the do more sum, I have taken a simple system.out return saying hi. In the above class, there is only one thread main, so JVM will create one runtime stack for that main thread. So to understand these 5 steps for this particular class, I'll go in detail. So our class is class test, public static void main string arrays. Do some is the method called from the main method, and do some method in turn calls do more sum. Do more sum prints a simple high statements. How does this works in the runtime stack? So the main thread will create the thread for the main. It will create an empty stack. Initially, the empty stack will be created, the runtime stack for the main thread. So as and when the main method is called, that main method will be inserted into the stack. So that's what we have discussed, right? For each and every method call performed by that thread will be stored in the corresponding stack. Whenever a method call will be started, that will be inserted into the stack. So here the main method is called, so main method is inserted into the stack. So each stack or in this particular stack, each insertion or each record is also called as a stack frame or an activation record. Every method call that is inserted into the stack is called as a stack frame or activation record. So when the main method is performed, the main method is inserted into the stack. Main method then internally calls do some method. So when the do some starts performing, that gets inserted into the stack. Do some is performed. The same way, do some internally calls do more sum method. Even the do more sum is performed, right? Even that method is inserted into the runtime stack. So after completion of the after when it comes to do more sum, when this particular system.out.println high is printed, or this method execution is completed, that do more sum will be popped out of the runtime stack. That will be removed after the completion of the particular method's execution. That particular method will be removed from the runtime stack. Then after do more sum is completed, it will go back to the do sum. So do sum is also, there are no more statements after do more sum. So even that is completed. Even when do sum is also completed, that will be removed from the stack. In the same way, it goes back to the main. After do sum, there are no steps to execute. There are no statements to be executed, and in the same way, main method is also completed, right? So finally, the stack will be empty. Main method is also removed, right? The finally, the empty stack will be destroyed by the JVM. This is how the runtime stack works, guys. This is what is called runtime stack mechanism. This is how internally it goes. Thank you, guys.